The special! Jesus! Unbelievable! Oh, he started special. I'm explaining the Starlink issues to the masses, to myself. I've literally sat there for an hour and a half before, private streaming to myself to check that it's been going okay. And then what do? I mute myself. Absolute Mark Goldbridge special, eat your heart out. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. That is, I mean, you don't get too much better than that. There's only one idiot that consistently does that for multiple minutes at a time. At least I didn't read out a bunch of lineups this time, and I had to redo that again. So yeah, essentially, I think what the problem is that Starlink is doing updates, and the router wasn't updated. It was going to, and I think the reason why streams quite often go down during the late game on Saturday night is because my router updates at 2:30 in the morning, which is when most people are asleep. But the D unit is not asleep then on a weekend because he's watching the football. You wonderful people. That being said, let's just get into it because I need to get this timer up and running because otherwise I'm going to forget about doing that as well, and that is not ideal either. So that's what the team's looking like. I'll get into the comments very shortly. Yes, I know I'm an idiot. Muting myself as usual. That's a standard procedure on this channel. I feel like that is part of the FPL D unit heritage is muting yourself on stream and then talking like everyone can actually hear you and then acting like an absolute goose. But yes, there we go. We are live. We're back. Hopefully we're going to have uninterrupted service with a little bit of luck tonight as well, which is fantastic. Yeah. So, yeah. Dean, let's go. Time to cook Gaz again. Yeah, I know. I'm catching Gaz. I'm not far. Well, I'm closing in. I'm closing the distance. Amron's going to be on a 3-week bender in Dubai on a United's money, mate. I hope he sends me an invite. I'll come and join him. I'm still on holidays for the next 4 weeks. No voice audio. Yes, muted. Yep. He's doing it again. His man, you got him cooked. Gary's left him on mute from last night. Had me thinking it was a premiere. Yeah, just never changed. Yep. Football heritage. I love it. You can change the time the router updates. I know. That is on my to-do list. I haven't changed it because there's no other updates. I updated it now before the stream so that way it wouldn't cark it, hopefully with a little bit of luck. So made the decision to go to Richarlison for Ekitike, reason being no guarantee he starts. Plus, I can cover him next game week against Burnley by bringing in Gakpo, if that makes sense. Yes, that does make sense. I don't mind that move at all either. In terms of me, I looked at it right. So you can see at the moment I've got Verts firmly last on my bench. I've got no issue. When I first looked at my team post the deadline lifting after game week 21, I looked at my team and thought, you know what? I'm benching Ekitike, I'm benching Verts. And originally I was going to roll right. I was going to play a back five. I was going to play Mukiele, Gabriel, O'Reilly, Tarkowski, Chalobah, Rice, Foden, Cunha, Haaland, Bowen. And then I thought about it and I was like I don't know. Because I watched that Spurs-Sunderland game and I was impacted by two different things. I was watching Spurs-Sunderland and I was like, like Sunderland were all over the shop in the first half. They were better in the second, but they still left some issues behind in their defence. And then I saw Brentford just go to Everton and demolish them, like four goals past them. And I was like, you know what? I think I've just got to go back to Thiago. And like as I said, the reason why, I think I said on the pubcast, maybe I said on pubcast lock-in, not sure when I said it, or maybe I said it in the video. The reason why I got rid of Thiago in the first place is because I was going to get my hair done. I was going to be loopy as all buggery. I wouldn't be able to make the decision. And then I was trying to work out, well, what I wanted to do. And then I panicked, really. I panicked. I took a -12 and I was like, well, even if this doesn't work out, I can revert back to it in a few weeks' time and I'll make some money out of it. And I made money out of it. So, look, I'm reverting back. And I looked at it, right? So, people go, why did you sell Ekitike and Verts? They've got Burnley next. Well, this is a very good question. Now, if we have a look at, I know Verts has obviously got 2 10-pointers in the last 3 weeks, which is maybe the reason why I've kept him rather than Ekitike. But essentially, look at the fixtures for Liverpool, right? So, they obviously beat Brighton. They beat Brighton. They beat Tottenham away, but that was a bit dubious. Then they had Wolves at home, and they really struggled against Wolves. Like, Wolves could easily have equalised in that game. They were lucky to win that. They then did nothing against Leeds, and they were pretty poor against Fulham as well. I just think Liverpool aren't playing very well, and I'm betting against them, and that's why I got rid of Ekitike. Because in reality, I do not want Liverpool assets post the Burnley game. So I don't want him for Bournemouth away. Don't want him for Newcastle at home. Don't want him for Man City at home. What else did they got after that? Then they got Sunderland away and Nottingham Forest away. Like, the fixtures aren't good for Liverpool for quite a while, and I'm literally saving Ekitike for 1 week. Like, it just didn't make any sense, and I could just get Thiago and just leave Thiago there, man. He's scored 14 goals now, 14 goals for the season. 14 goals. Like, it's a no-brainer. Why go for someone that costs way more, that's outputting less, and is not even on penalties? And people seem to froth penalties. I don't really rate penalties, but Thiago is on him, and that's also another bow in his tick column. Start 2 of Thiago, Dalot, Wilson, and Van de Ven. I wouldn't be starting Van de Ven. I think Bournemouth will score against Spurs. It'll be Semenyo's last game. I actually expect him to score. I'd probably bench Van de Ven and Wilson, if I'm being honest with you, because I'm benching Wilson. Only one transfer, Virgil to Gabriel. Very smart decision. Very smart decision. Rolling for the first time in 10 game weeks. Wow, that feels weird when you're rolling for the first time in 10 game weeks. It has to be fair. I rate transferred Ray to Pickford, only to see him out concede 4 goals, 24. Mate, I can't believe how poor that decision went. Like, on paper, it made so much sense. And like, for me, if I had owned Raya and I had free transfers, I don't even think I would have second-guessed moving him to Jordan Pickford. Like, legit, I would not have second-guessed it. I didn't second-guess bringing in Tarkowski because for this exact reason. I do expect Everton to keep clean sheets, and I think they will keep one against Wolves. So I think you'll be rewarded this week with a little bit of luck. Simon, how are you, buddy? Good to see you in the chat. Most active FPL group chat in the world. It literally is there's close to 1,000 messages a day in that group. Lots of talk around Fernandez starting this game week as well. Would not surprise me in the slightest. Starting? Yeah, I think he will. I have not seen the Fletcher. That was the only thing I was waiting for. It was meant to be at 5 o'clock, which was an hour and a half ago, and I've still yet to see a comment about what actually happened. I don't know if they were late, what was going on there, but I'm going to try and find out exactly what happened there. Alderete on Mukiele. Heard Ballard's back, so Mukiele will be moved to right back. Is that true? Yes, that happened in the second half against Spurs, which is why he struggled to make the DC after half-time, because Ballard came on, they went back to a back 5, and Mukiele went out to the right. I don't think Haaland has ever blanked 4 times in a row, so he's due. Yes. Hit those likes, subscribe, and hype buttons. Yes, please. Foden or Bruno G as captain, any good? I don't mind either of them. They're both good options. I tell you one thing, soon as deadline passes, the real Bruno is coming straight in. You better believe it, Creed. Who would you start between Wilson, Ekitike, or Dorgu? I have double Arsenal defence too. I would start... Well, Ekitike is probably not going to play, so... I would definitely not be playing Ekitike. It's one of the other two. If you've only got to start one, I'd actually probably start Dorgu, if I'm being honest. I think Chelsea shut out Fulham this week. That's my gut feel. Thoughts on Barry from Everton for Ekatike. It's a brave man that goes there, but I don't mind it. 25 minutes, Darius? Yes. Oh, I've got the clocks wrong. That's what the problem is. 5 o'clock is 1 o'clock in the morning. Yes, it is. Oh, my God. I've lost track with the time difference here. That's half the issue. That's why I don't know what he said yet. Flex your stickers, members. Yep. Would you start DCL unit or Timber ahead of Cherky? I'd play Cherky. I'd play Cherky in front of both of them, I think. Saka versus Haaland captain. I would go with Haaland and those two. Still 25 minutes. Yep. 25 minutes. Yep. I plan on starting Mane. Who to bench? Verts or Hall? Verts. Dallo or Jow. United could actually keep a CS under Fletcher. Yes, they could. If I still had Dallo, I'd play him this week. Let's put it that way. I think there's more chance of a Dallo clean sheet than a Jow one. I expect Leeds to score against Newcastle. Alderete or Mukiele, I would be going with... I still like Mukiele better. I actually prefer when he plays on the right. He's more chance of getting an attacking return. He's actually very good attacking. I don't know how to. Do you think Lewis Potter starts or not? Honestly, that's a flip of a card. And I don't have the answer to that. I'd be purely guessing. I'd say potentially there's a chance he could because he was benched on the weekend, but you'd really be guessing. Arsenal's the only team this season to get a CS at Fulham. Do you think Chelsea can do it? Well, Chelsea have the next best defence behind Arsenal, so yeah, why not? What about Gordon captaincy shout? If you're a brave man, love it. Apparently Lewis Potter down to start, even better. Next game week, the biggest news that everyone is overlooking is the return of Munoz, the GOAT pick. Honestly, Crystal Palace, the fixtures just aren't kind. They don't have enough players. I would love to bring Munoz straight back in, but I just can't do it based on how they're playing at the moment. Bench one, O'Reilly, Rice, Gabriel, Hall, Lewis Potter. It's got to be Lewis Potter. Click on the emoji button, is all there. Would you start Stack or Anderson? I'd start Stack. Would you do Anderson and Van Heck to Jow and Tarkowski for a -4? No. Even though I hate Anderson, I don't think I'd do that for a -4. I don't think Jow keeps the clean sheet. Tarkowski does. Maybe he covers it, but it's a bit risky. Are you selling O'Reilly? That is the plan too. I'm going to give him the Brighton game and see how he goes. Otherwise, he's in the chopping block, yes. Would you start Mukiele or Hall? I'd start Mukiele, I think. I think they both concede, but I think Mukiele will get DCs. Are you going to sell Cunha after this game week? If so, who are you thinking to replace him? Straight to Bruno. If Bruno Fernandes is back, he'll be coming in. Cunha captain. I haven't ruled it out, but at the moment I'm toying up between Gabriel and Tarkowski. There's part of me that really wants to go Gabriel because he's the last game of the game week. So then I've still got the hope at the end that it could go big, if that makes sense. I'm satisfied the Hall got like 63 minutes. Last game week, good chance for a start again with managed minutes. Hopefully he gets over 60 again. Honestly, if he starts, he gets 60, I reckon. Watkins captain, yeah, I don't mind that one. Play Gahey and roll or transfer to another 5.1 million defender. 5.1 million. See, lots of people would say go to Jow, but I think I'd just roll and move to someone else at another point. Yeah. Rolling to have 3 free transfers in game week 22. We'll likely roll again. Rock and roll, literally. Love it. Do we reckon Sanchez will start? Going to put John first bench, Sanchez and hope. Yeah, I'm playing him because otherwise it's Bart Simpson against Man City. So for me, I was always starting Sanchez in this game. I just got to hope that it works. And he actually shows. Apparently he is training today. That much came out in the press conference. So if he's training, you'd expect him to be fit. And Trig is 100% certain there's no way that Jorgensen's taking Sanchez's place in goal. So based off that, if he doesn't play, Trig also has him, so we're both in the same boat. So I don't think Trig would make it up. So I believe that if he's fit, he'll start. Hall or Jow, I think you've got to go Jow for the safety net and the fact that he's more likely to not be challenged for his place in the team of like Trippier and Livramento are both back. So that's going to add rotation into the mix, I think. Captain for me, Haaland. Yeah, yep. Any news on Minte? Yes. He's a very small chance, Raven. Very small chance of playing. But he's a chance, which basically means he's not playing because Herzler always says that and then they just don't show up. No idea who to captain. Sanchez, Mateus Nunes, Tarkowski, Timber Chalobah, Gabriel, Foden, Bruno G, Rice, Haaland, Bowen. Yeah, to be honest, I think it's a very open week for captaincy. Man City are not playing good football at the moment. They are struggling. The last 3 games they have struggled. Do I expect them to continue struggling? Probably not. But I don't expect them to thrash Brighton. Brighton actually go fairly well against Man City. That's also why I've kind of got the vice captaincy on Phil Foden, because I feel like it's more a game for my boy than it is for Haaland. Seeing that Arsenal might have a double game week 26, does that mean that it's going to be a small blank game week 27 then? Very good question. I'm not sure why that is. I saw that very briefly today on a video, and I was trying to understand why they would have a double in game week 26. But hey, they don't like doing doubles anymore. So I would think that if there's a chance they can't do it, then if they can get away with not putting one in, they probably won't put one in. I think Gabriel can go big, yes. I think he's starting on a floor of 6 points. I don't see Liverpool scoring at the Emirates. So, yeah. Then he just needs a goal like he did on the weekend. He's already got a 15-pointer, hasn't he? Yo, D-Unit, Palmer inverts out for a -4. Don't mind it. Don't mind it. I'm keeping Minte. I know he's fell in price, but after this game week, have good fixtures and will be rested. Yeah, that's true. I don't mind that either. Best 5.5 and under midfielder. Let's have a look. Best 5.5 under midfielder. Let's add a few settings here. Let's go down to 5.5. James Garner's on 89 points, 5.1. Zucker is 86, 5.2. To be honest with you, if Manchester United don't sign another midfield, actually, Reinder's at 5.2 mil. Holy hell, he's dropped in price. The only problem is he is part of the Pep Roulette problem. I wouldn't be going there. To be honest with you, I'd probably go Casemiro. 5.5 mil. Having said that, though, I would wait a week if you could, because where is he? All right. So this guy's about to be back in business. 4.6 million Kobbie Mainoo is. He's about to be back in business for Man United. Amrin's gone. That's the only good thing about Amrin going is Kobbie Mainoo will be back in that Manchester United midfield. You can guarantee it. He might even be fit for this week. So if he's fit for this week, he's 100% going to be straight in out the gate. So yeah, I 4.6 mil. If you want a really dirt cheap midfielder that's going to be playing lots of games very shortly, that could be the one. Double game week 6 for Arsenal and Wolves possible if Arsenal get to the League Cup final. Yes, they need to get there first though. They've got to beat, they're playing Chelsea, aren't they? Hopefully the double doesn't happen. Planning to have a juicy bench boost 27 and then wildcard the week after. Very nice. Garner. Thoughts on Nikitike and Van Heck to Barry and Tarkowski? Oh, I don't like that move at all. I don't know who your other forwards are, but surely there's got to be someone better than Barry. I don't mind the Tarkowski one. I love the Tarkowski shout, but not the Barry one. Potts, I had to take a -8. That's no good. Best game. Well, I took a -12, almost got away with it. So you can still win. You can still get a good week with a -8, no problems at all. Best goalkeeper to buy next 6 game weeks. It's Sanchez. Provided he's fit, it's definitely Sanchez. Look at these fixtures. Now, the FDR here is wrong. Fulham away, I've got as green. Brentford at home, I've got as green. Crystal Palace away might be a green by the time they play them in 23. Then it's West Ham at home, Wolves away. Then longer term, post-end, they've also got Leeds, and then they've got Burnley. So through to game week 28, Sanchez is by far the best goalkeeper in the game. By far and away the best goalkeeper in the game. For me, anyway. Fofana or Konza, long term. Ideally, with the fixtures, again, they're both very comparable. I don't mind either. I feel like Fofana might be better for DCs, whereas Konza really just got no interest in getting him. So, yeah, I'd probably go that. 4.6, I'll swap Wilson for Mainoo next week. Konza long term, yeah, I'll have Haaland and Thiago. Barry is a differential pick for the next 3 weeks. Not good. I think I'd prefer Jarrod Bowen. He's got Forest, Spurs and Sunderland. 2 of them at home. Thiago, what's he got? I mean, even Thiago, Sunderland, Chelsea, and Nottingham Forest, he's not doing anything. And he's getting benched for me in Game Week 22, by the way, Thiago. He's getting benched. Wilson's coming on. Cunha's probably leaving the team unless they show some unbelievable signs against Burnley that make me want to keep him. Yeah, Thiago's benched for me next week. Wirtz will come on for his one final game against Burnley. That's the plan there. And then next week, the plan is potentially to move O'Reilly out of the team. Now, part of me is trying to work out whether I want Saka or whether I want Timber. Like, I'm in that weird position where I want Gabriel and I definitely want Rice, but I need to work out whether I want an extra Arsenal defender or if I want an extra Arsenal attacker. And the problem is Timber and Saka both do get rotated to the bench occasionally. So that's the difficult quandary I'm in there. That's kind of where I'm looking at going. Everyone else have got no interest in moving. Wilson, originally I was going to move him, but I'll tell you what, Wilson's last hard fixture is this week against Chelsea. Then it's Leeds. I can't believe people are selling him. Then it's Leeds away, Brighton at home, Man United away, Everton at home. He's good. And you bench him in game week 26 because he only costs 5.8. And then I'm playing him again, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. And then I'd probably sell him on wildcard. Like, that's the plan with Wilson. He's actually turned out to be an unbelievably good pick. And I did not expect him to be that good, but I originally bought him. It was for that week, and everything else post that was a bonus. And then he's got the 16 points. He's obviously scored against Liverpool. He got the assist the other week as well. He's been unbelievably good value, and I picked him up at 5.2. And he's now up to 5.8. Like, I've got no intention of moving that man on. Yeah, I agree with the Cunha take. Going to move him out for Rice next game week. Having second thoughts about Bowen? No. Should have captained him last week in the end. Would have got 2 extra points. I might captain Tarkowski. It's going to be between him and Gabriel. I might even defer it to the card and see what the card says. Yeah, legit. I've not, like, people sitting there going, why are you not captaining Haaland, man? This dude's blanked 6 of the last 9 weeks. 6 of the last 9 weeks, this dude is blanked. Yes, I grant you that the other 3 weeks where he's scored 14, 13, and 16. Pretty nice scores, those ones. But 2 of them were against Fulham and West Ham, and the other one was against a very tired-looking Crystal Palace. Like, yes, they've got Wolves in 23, and every man and his dog's going to be captaining him in 23. Even I will be. But outside of that, I think he can be well and truly taken on. Well and truly taken on. I think it's the sheep mentality that people have got. And I talked about this on the pubcast yesterday. You look at him and you go, oh, he cost 15.1 million. I've got to be captaining him. Otherwise, why the hell am I owning him? I can't be captaining someone that's half his price. That's the problem with people, I think, is they think they need to captain him because he costs so much money. But you're ignoring the fact that he's now blanked in 6 of the last 9 game weeks. And that's 66% of the time he is blanked. So you're betting your captaincy on some bloke that has only got a return in 66% of the last, 33% of the last 9 weeks. When you think about it like that, you start thinking a little bit differently about captaincy. I'll put the hot tip on it. Hopefully that made a bit of sense. The 2 new West Ham forwards might be worth a look. Pablo is just 5.5 and the other fella isn't even in the game yet. That's definitely true. Defender 100%. Hold on, no doubt at all, yep. Really tempted to captain Gabriel, but not sure if this game week's the one to use him to take on Haaland, but swaying more towards him weirdly. I know. Today when I looked at it, all right, I'll show you an interesting stat, folks. People wondering about captaincy, right? Look at Haaland. Oh, actually, you can't see that there because it's not on the screen. All right, you can see it now. Look here. 7.8 points per game. Erling Haaland, 7.8 points per game. I'm going to show you an interesting stat now. Look at Gabriel. 7.6 points per game for Gabriel. 7.6. I know. Insane. So outside of the game where he got injured and the game where he obviously got benched, he's gone 12-9, 12-9, 13. And since he's been back, he's gone 15-9. Like, this dude is unbelievably in form. Like, that is, like, literally, if he hadn't been brought off the bench, he would have one blank in his last 7 weeks. And he's gone 9 double figure, 9 double figure, 9 double figure. Like, you can't tell me that he might not actually be the best captaincy shout. I actually think I might have just convinced myself about where I'm going to captain someone right there. That argument right there. That will change people's votes. Yeah, took out Collins around game week 18 for Dallo. Biggest mistake of my season so far. Yeah, I feel you on that one, buddy. What do you think about Rao as a second striker option over Bowen? Don't like that one. Muniz is not too far away. Also, I saw a shocking take from one of the guys who works for Fantasy Football Hub. He said that if Rice were to play for any other team than Arsenal, he would pick him. What? That just makes no sense at all. Like, some of those Fantasy Football Hub guys, like, there's a reason why everyone takes a piss out of that program and that website, because it's just horrendous. Mukiele or Wilson, do you reckon Dorgu still starts under Fletcher? Now, because I own a Chelsea defender, I've got, actually, I think Mukiele over, to be honest, I'm giving a biased opinion. I've got Thiago, which is why I'm benching Mukiele, and I've got Chalobah, which is why I'm benching Wilson. So asking me that question is going to have a biased answer. I would go Mukiele over Wilson, though, is my honest opinion. Sell Ekatike for Thiago. Well, that's the exact move I did, sir. I sold Ekatike straight to Thiago. Very happy about it. Wilson is basically doing what he did preseason. Just needs to stay fit. Exactly, Andrew. Garner in for Wilson. Yeah, see, I don't know. Like, I originally looked at moving Wilson on, but, like, he's been that good. I can't justify moving him. Why am I moving him? Like, the dude's just, unless he gets injured. If he gets injured, he's 100%, then you move him. But, yeah. Love the videos and the streams. Thank you very much, Jason. Hi, mate. Hall, Chow, Collins, or Chalobah? To buy, I would be looking at Collins or Chalobah. To be honest, long-term fixtures, even this week, I'd go Chalobah all day long over those other 3. I wanted to Minte to Tavernier, but Tavernier has already reached target to reduce in price tonight for 5.5. Look, I've seen the Tavernier love storm going on the internet today and on X. That's because FPL Review has Tavernier right at the top because they think he's taking penalties now. Well, the hot tip is, if anyone hasn't looked, Semenyo's still at the club for one more game. So Semenyo will be taking any penalty that happens against Spurs, if it happens. And then once Semenyo's gone and there's no Kluivert, who the hell is actually going to win the penalty? So I don't know. For me, the best option under 6 million at the moment, by far and away, is Harry Wilson. Until he gets injured, he's the best pick. For me, anyway. Yeah. Meaning Arsenal defender has to be Timber over Saka all day. Yeah, you would think so. Yeah. Oh, yeah. On Wildcard, my 3 forwards are Haaland, Mane, and Krupi. Give me your best argument against that strategy. Minutes and the fact they won't return very often. Like, Krupi Jr. might when Semenyo leaves, to be fair. But Mane's not. I mean, Wolves are the bottom team in the league for a reason because they don't win many games of football. They've only won 1. And they don't score many goals. So that's why I don't like it. And eventually at some point you're going to want to have to play your bench boost. And at that point you don't want Mane and Krupi Jr. sitting on your bench. And that means it's going to waste at least 2 transfers, most likely more like 4 to fix it because you need to find the money to upgrade them. I don't like the cheap forward strategy. I went there with Mark Goooooooooooo myself and I only lasted 2 weeks because I hated it. So for me, I don't like it. Might have convinced me, lovely. I think I've convinced myself, to be honest. I just need to change, make sure I change that. I think it's more the fear that when Haaland goes off, you lose rank massively. See, it's not worried me all season. I've done it multiple times. He's expected to be pretty much everyone to be the FPL top point scorer. Yeah, Wouldn't be surprised if Haaland scores 4 or 5 in a game soon. He's due. Yeah, he's been due for a while, but he does go off in the winter time. It is some quandary. Timber's XGI per 9 is 0.29, whereas Gabriel's XGI is 0.16 makes you think. The reason why is because Timber has a lot more open play threat than Gabriel. So Gabriel's is literally all off set pieces. Timber's is when he gets into the box. Timber gets into the box a hell of a lot in every single game. He should be returning a lot more, but he doesn't. And I don't know why that is, but he just doesn't. Gabriel, though, goes up for one-headed corner and ends up in the back of the net. It's crazy. It's crazy. Timber unfortunately underperforms. Gabriel massively overperforms. But that's just the way they are, unfortunately. I think his name was like Big Man. Oh, no. Yes, Big Man McCarr, man. He's got no idea. He charges £120 to be part of his WhatsApp group to spit out advice that he rips off other people. I can't say anything positive about that person at all other than the fact he's an absolute grifter. What about Welbeck? That'll get me even more into the anti-cartel bandwagon. What about Welbeck? No, not for me. Too much of a rotation risk. D in a bench one. Cunha, Rice, Rogers, Foden, Enzo, Haaland, Thiago, Bowen. Holy hell, that is some benching decisions. I think I'd bench Rogers or Thiago out of that, but if you want to be brave, I'd bench Haaland. Took a while to say this game week. Ekatike, Gay, and Emmy Martinez out for Pickford, Mukiele, and Watkins. Felt like I had to get Watkins in, but didn't want to get rid of Matty Cash. Decent asset for the time being. Don't mind it. Nothing wrong with any of them. Don't mind any of those moves at all. Ricky, exactly, yep. I didn't sell Ekatike for Thiago. I thought about it watching the price rises, but a part of me feels like Thiago is his whole now. He'll be quiet again for a bit. Yeah, so the thing is, Thiago's... Like, he's had 17-2-5, then he had a run of 4 blanks in a row, but then he was benched against Arsenal, and I don't know what was going on there. I reckon he was slightly injured. But then 13-4, 13-2-5, 8-2, 13-2, 1-6, 2-6. He doesn't blank very often. He's pretty consistent. So I just worked it out. I was like, you know what? He's just as likely to score as many points as Haaland. So why not do it? So that's why I did that. Nunez, Garner, and Cash in my bench. I got Rice, Gordon, Guimaraes, and Rogers in my mid. Attack, Haaland, Thiago, Bowen, and Tarkowski. Gabriel and Joao defense. Nice. Looks pretty good. Lewis Potter playing wing potential haul. It could be. Could be. Honestly, it could be. I don't know. He's so... The problem with Lewis Potter is you just don't know if he's going to show up week to week. If he shows up, by all means, happy days. If he doesn't, all of a sudden it just feels very meh. He's going to come on for a 1 pointer more likely. FPL review about as reliable as a chocolate teapot. Embarrassing. Yeah, just see Gary's team. He's bought in Dominic Szoboszlai 2 weeks ago. He bought in Kudos last week. You can ask him how well that's going the next time you see him. I'm sure he'll love telling you. Are we benching Ekatike? If I had him still, I would have benched him, yes. This game week, though, I'm going with Pickford, Timber, Keane, Gabriel, Foden, Rice, Bruno G, Rogers, Watkins, Thiago, Haaland, subs. Looks pretty good to me. Low on paper, that looks really good. Who's your captain? Hey, mate, I've got a benching headache. Dorgu from Man U or Jow from Newcastle. See, I think I'd start Dorgu this week. I feel like he'll play right wing this week. Tavernier has been chosen based on pens. Yeah, exactly. Oh, it's just... The love obsession the algorithms have with penalty share is unbelievably horrendous. It's like they think there's going to be a penalty in every single game of the game week for every single team. It never happens. You're lucky if you get multiple penalties in a game week, let alone one in any game. Like, it's just ridiculous. Like, it's everything wrong with them. Everything wrong with them. I genuinely find it hilarious the amount of time these experts that are telling people to get money in. 1 good week and 20... Yeah, I just don't get it. I don't get it. Like, I talked about it in the transfer tips video earlier. Like, and then there's people buying Visser and Voldemar. I was like, why are people buying these players? Like, you don't even know which one's going to start. Like, and then you're investing a forward in the team that is last. The team that is last. As I would say, make it make sense. Rice, Timber, and Gabriel, best Arsenal trio. I think it probably is, to be fair. Has defence captain ever worked? Yes. I captained Gabriel for 13 points earlier this year. No, 12 points earlier this season. He would have got 14 if he hadn't got booked in the last minute and lost a bonus point. He would have beaten Haaland as well. So, yes, it has worked for me already this year. Bakara is boring. Yeah, he's definitely boring. That's for sure. All I see on Twitter is 20 posts of people popping their wild card, and every team is the same boring stuff. Yep. Literally. There's a lack of creativity in the game, and a lot of it's down to the fact that they've created a monster this year by adding DC points that they can't even track correctly. captaincy in and of itself is making the game kind of boring as well, because this season, Palmer, Saka, Salah, all massively overpriced, all not doing the business. I'd even argue Haaland's overpriced because now he's gone massively off the boil. The last 9 weeks, hold on, bear with me. How good's my math? Let's see if I can work out mental math here. So the last 9 weeks for Haaland, he's got 2, 4, 6, 22, 35, 37, 51, 53, 55 points. 55 points divided by 9. So 63 divided by 9 is 7. So he's averaging just over 6 points per game. He's easily takeable on at the moment. Like so massively easily taken on. It's crazy. But I'm actually considering selling him post the Wolves game. If he continues up the form that he's showing at the moment, I will pull the trigger. And I don't know who I'm going to move to, but I'll pull the trigger for someone that's returning a bit more. To be fair to Bournemouth, even Nilsson wins most of their pens. Not that I'll be going Tavernier. Dude's playing in the double pivot. Yep. Bolton scoring tonight with full bonus. That would be a very nice start to the game week, Dan. D, your students old enough to realise you're a YouTube celebrity? Some of the ex-students I've taught have now realised, and they've found the channel. They love it. They tell me about it every time I go out in Kalgoorlie. They run into me and they go, I love your channel. And I was like, yeah, I'm glad you enjoy it. FPLX's Dale, just highly followed account, chucking out AI recommended picks and nobody calls them out. By the way, it's just engagement farming on X. It's literally just an engagement farming from a bunch of bots. Like the majority of followers on X are just bots. They're not actually real humans. They're just bots. I don't know what the actual human per capita ratio is on X, but I'm telling you, it's not that high. Is my mid good? It's Rice, Rogers, Cherky, Bruno G and Wilson. Looks pretty good to me. I actually really like that midfield. Captain Bruno G or Rogers? I would probably go with Bruno G because he's at home. My thoughts exactly on pens, yep. It feels like outside of Brentford there haven't been many pens this season. Yeah, I know Brentford just have been elite at winning them. I'm rolling this week and I'm playing a 4-5-1. Who to bench? Lewis Potter or Senesi? I would bench... I think I'd probably bench Lewis Potter, Cole. Good to see you on the chat as well. Also heard Bournemouth fans crashing out about Tavernier in the 10. Doesn't sound promising for him as a pick. Well, yeah. All you need to know is go and watch fan forum. If you're unsure about a pick, go to the fan forums or Reddit for that club and you'll see it amongst the fans. They'll put you straight on stupid picks. I do think Wolves stay up, but would not be investing in any assets FPL-wise. They need a miracle to stay up, Tyler, but I'm here for it. There'll be a story of the season if they do. I'm captaining Cunha Forts. I don't mind it. I wouldn't captain another striker besides Haaland. Every time I hear he's on pens to justify an FPL pick, you are not serious. You're not a serious manager. Yeah, I just sat there. Like, I was sitting there, and I talked about Kanji, right? Like, there's a reason why I really dislike Dirty 2-Point Dom. It's not because of the fact that he's a bad player. I actually think he's a relatively good player. The problem I've got is that he's not a good FPL pick. It's a bit like Anderson earlier in the season before he had that run with clean sheets. The dude did not keep a clean sheet. He doesn't get attacking returns. How is he a good pick? He's not. It's the answer. And yet they try and justify, he's got penalties. When did Liverpool last win a penalty? I can tell you when they won against Burnley back in game week 3. I reckon it is. Let me see how good my memory is. 4, game week 4. I was close. So Liverpool haven't won a penalty for 14 game weeks. 16 game weeks. 16 game weeks I haven't won a penalty. And you're trying to tell me you're basing a pick off the back that he's going to be taking penalties. That does not make any sense. It's not grounded in reality, that argument. I hate to say it. Love you, Kanji. If you watch that back, don't take offense. Last chance to change your captain to Haaland? Not going to happen. Do you reckon the big YouTubers get inside information on early team releases? Seems dodgy sometimes. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Honestly, I think it's pathetic that they rely on it. To me, I'm like going, most of them are just grifters. Like literally, they're better when they're on other people's channels because they talk more like human beings with actual personality. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be rude. That's just my thoughts. Plus, I can dare say, if you go and watch one of their streams down, you come back here, you won't get anywhere near as good insight or opinion or actual football knowledge, because I can guarantee you the majority of them don't even watch the football. They just look at what FPL review spits out. They make some notes based on the spit out of statistics on their spreadsheets, and that's what they talk to. They don't actually watch the games and then see that player is actually nowhere near where you think they should be in order to actually return. FPL expert, oh Jesus, take that word sentence. FPL, he's got me blocked for some weird reason as well, probably because of the battle I'm about to say. No top 10k finishes in 17 attempts. Owns Lewis Potter, says it all. Yeah, it probably says it all. Also, he gets angry when kids beat him in a football match too, I heard. That's what I heard, just through the grapevine, not going to lie. That's what I heard. Make captaincy a chip. That would be brilliant. I would love that they did that. Just get rid of it, make it a chip, play it 4 times a season or whatever. They can all, and then you can have a bit more fun with it, I reckon, as well. Captain on Tarkowski or Gabriel for me. I'm going to change that now. I'm probably going to captain Gabriel. I'm going to stop fooling people with, like, honestly, I think that Tarkowski actually could be a really good captain. I'm going to make him vice because I do think he's a good captaincy shout. I think Gabriel, though, could be elite this week. So I'm going to go over Gabriel captain. I've saved my team so that way I don't have to worry about it later. But we've got an hour and 20 minutes to think about it anyway. Pens should be the icing on the cake if you're picking a player just because he takes pens. You've gone wrong somewhere. Exactly. Foden captain. Honestly, Foden captain could be a really good shout this week. He does have a pretty good record against Brighton as well. Hey, man, need to start 2 out of Ekitike, Wilson and Elliot Anderson. Who would you start? I would go with Elliot Anderson 100%, and I'd probably go with Wilson. Hi, I did Mintate Enzo, start Ekitike or Anderson. I would start Anderson. He's guaranteed to get at least 3 points, Anderson, I think. I also have triple Arsenal defence. Yeah, you're definitely starting Anderson then. I'm definitely going with Raya, Roofs, Canade, Gabriel. That's both my free transfers. Should I get rid of Ekitike to Richarlison or Watkinson -4? And also O'Reilly to Jal. I would not be doing the O'Reilly to Jal move at all. At all. Would not be doing that move at all, Daniel. I don't mind the other one, but I probably wouldn't go the Pigeon. I'd probably go to Watkins if I was to do that move. Any news on Vandenberg? Yeah, I think he's just lost his spot, Jocelyn Ryder. He's been on the bench the last 2 games. I think he's literally just lost his spot to Aja. Bournemouth without Semenyo and Kluivert now for a while could really... Yeah, I know. If West Ham can actually win some games, Bournemouth are in some significant trouble. Yeah, Reddit. I don't use Reddit at all. From earlier, you've convinced me, and I think I've convinced myself too. I think I'm going to pick Gabriel as captain. You're forgetting that he also has corners, lol. Virgil's bullet. Oh, Jesus Christ. I knew someone would say this. He did it just for the reaction, didn't he? Virgil van Dijk's bullet header. He's had so many chances off 32-point Dom's corners, by the way. He's just not getting one. He'll get one in the Champions League because the Champions League teams are crap. Premier League are they're wise up to the Virgil. I mean, if you've still got him, I feel for you because that's the hope that kills you, and it's the hope that's killing you. Hoping for that bullet header. Pens don't even count for bonus points anymore. Yeah, they count as 12 for anyone that gets them, but they've been massively nerfed. Yep. FPL needs to do... What was that? FPL needs to do something to keep more people engaged in the game. If you don't go template, you fall behind. See, the thing is, the bloke that's winning the league, he is not template. I'm going to show you his team. This dude is not template. Yeah, the problem is, if you don't go template, you either win FPL or you have a horrendous season. It's not one or the other. This is the A team, right? That's who's winning FPL at the moment. He's winning our league as well. That is his team. That is not a template team. He's got Bart Simpson and Van Heck. He's got double Brighton defence. No template team is that. No template team is Collins and Sade. No template team has double Newcastle midfield and a Newcastle defender. And it probably doesn't have triple Liverpool. I think he's probably going to change that. My guess is he moves Ekitike or Gravenberch this week. If I'm a betting man, I reckon that's his move this week. Like, he's so non-template, that's why he's winning. Like, unfortunately, I've just been a little bit unlucky with my captaincy picks. He's been significantly better. When he's gone against Haaland, he's generally won. And that's why he's number 1 in the world. Number 1 in the world is playing anti-template. The problem is, I think captaincy is ruining the game. That's what's ruining the game more than anything else. It's not the template stuff. It's maybe the DC's a bit boring as well, but that's why he's number one. He's got a differential team. It's why I play the game differently, which is why last season I had a really good year, because I did play very differently to the crowds. Like last year, I beat every other FPL content creator out there. And this year, obviously, I've struggled because I've tried to be a bit clever for myself for some of my captaincy picks that just haven't come in. And that's the reason why more than anything else. There we go. Hopefully that makes a bit more sense. I was thinking of changing my captain to Igor this week, but not captaining Haaland is so dangerous because if he scores, then the average goes up too much. Yeah, I like the Tarkowski captain. What's the reason besides Wolves? Just the DC. He's got a... Unfortunately, I don't think Tarkowski can score, whereas I think Gabriel can. That's the key difference. I think both are really good. So I feel like Gabriel and Tarkowski, you know, you can almost back them in. If they keep a clean sheet, they're both probably going to get between 8 and 10 points because they're probably going to get DC. And if they get DC, then they're probably in the bonus, which means they're then looking at a double figures haul, which is why I quite like them both. Hopefully that makes sense. Excel experts. Big Man Bakar is AI. Not sure he even watches the footy. Yep, Gabriel is DC captain's goal or even assist potential and high bonus. Exactly. Don't trust Everton players. They've changed the bloody press conference to 5:30. Are you kidding me? Maybe they're going to announce that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's coming back after a week or so. Plus LFC hate watch. Yep, exactly. I could definitely get on board with that. There's something about the fact I've got my captain playing against Liverpool. That does feel quite nice being a Man United fan. Would you bench one of Gordon, Rogers or Watkins for Bowen? Yeah, I'd probably bench Gordon, to be honest. Start Cherky or O'Reilly? I'd start Cherky. Definitely start Cherky. Batiste suggested on his YouTube channel how to... Oh, I've seen that. I've seen that. Yeah, he's gone into hiding from X since he tried to defend that. Like, I don't know why he even tried to defend it. If he was an intelligent man... Which obviously he's not, because he tried fighting it on with a kid after he lost in a game of football and then tried to say that the kid deserved it. Then he's sitting there trying to do that on his YouTube channel and then basically came out, tried to defend it saying, oh, I've only got about 10% of viewers under 16. I was like, dude, stop digging your hole. Just sit there, admit you got it wrong, say you apologise and delete it. He didn't even delete it. That's the problem. He just put a warning on there. Oh, the dude is just so out of touch of reality, so much up his own ass. It's something else. What do you think of team got 1 free, 0.6 suspend? Should I roll? I need someone. Needing one. No, I saw your team the other day, Eddie. Looks perfectly fine, mate. I would not be making any moves. You can easily roll your team this week. No problems at all. Wouldn't even consider a move. I first saw your videos 2 weeks ago on the pod with Trig. You two are a light duo, and I like how you don't follow the algorithms blindly and pick the same players as all the other players. Keep it up. Thank you very much, Fan City. How long after the Gameweek 21 deadline until the FPL experts start uploading Gameweek 22 videos? I'll never deny people making a living, but seriously, yeah, to be honest, I've got no interest in making a video until after the Gameweek's finished. Like, legit. I've seen people... And I don't know how they do this, right? The only reason why I've done it the last couple of game weeks is because there's been 3 days between deadlines, and there's 3 videos I like getting out, and that's it. And I barely make any money out of this. I can tell you that much. It's bugger all. I do this for a hobby more than anything else. I'm not a grifter, but essentially, I think. I don't like making content unless all the games have been played. Like you would have noticed during the first half of the season, if there's Monday Night Football, I won't put a video out until the Tuesday. Now, quite often that puts me behind and people have already watched all these other idiots and put content out first. And I think the reason why they do it is to try and be first for Game Week 22 because there are people that as soon as Game Week 21 is the deadline's passed, they will be looking for Game Week 22, and I think they're trying to beat and get ahead of the curve by just putting rubbish out. The problem with putting rubbish out before, so there'll be videos out tonight. Put money on it for Game Week 22 after 1 game of football. The reason why it makes no sense putting content out straight away after that is because There's 9 more games to go. There's going to be a lot more injuries. There's going to be suspensions. There could be upticks in form. There could be people played out of position that you might want. All their videos are completely irrelevant. I would not be looking on a Game Week 22 video until the football's finished, which is why, I generally try to not do that, because I just, it winds me up myself. Triple Newcastle's diabolical. Yeah, but he's making it work. See, this is the key. You don't win FPL by being boring. Facts. I see Man United are looking at Michael Carrick, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Fletcher. I know, madness, isn't it? Maybe they'll have all 3 and they'll just rotate week to week. How many are you behind Gaz? I'm not that far behind. Where are we at? 80 points. Only 80 points. 7 weeks ago, I was 150 points behind. Now I'm 80 points. That's easily attainable. Easily attainable. Now, Gary keeps on saying, you're going to... I'm actually making it hard for myself. He keeps saying to Gary, he goes, why are you doing different captains? I was like, mate, because I want to give you a chance, because I know I'm going to beat you. Okay, the reason why, right, I can give Gary a head start. Gary's team is the most template team out there because he follows review like it's religious, like it's a religion. Like he bought in Dirty 2 Dom, he bought in Kudos, he's now buying in Tavernier. He's literally buys top of the pops in the review charts every single week. And so I know that I can beat review. I know that I can beat an algorithm. I know I can do that because I did it last year. And I'm pretty confident I can do it again this year. Even from my horrible starting position, we're coming. Yeah, 80 points. Sanchez starting. I bloody well hope so. I bloody well hope he does. Make my life a lot easier. Otherwise, we'll be praying for a Man City and Brighton draw, to be honest. Then I'll be very happy. All right, what are we on about? I'm a wild card. I have Gabriel, early wild card. I have Gabriel, Timber, and João and Nunes. Not confident on double Arsenal defence against Liverpool. Who would you bench? I would play double Arsenal defence. I'd bench João or Man City's defender. I think Arsenal will keep a clean sheet against Liverpool, I reckon. That's my gut feel anyway. That's what I'm predicting. 3-0 win. Two streamers now call themselves FPL Cartel Real Original. Yeah, I've seen that, Andrew. These guys aren't playing the same games as us, if you see what I mean. Yeah, I do. They should give 4 bonus point to any player under 5% owned who returns. I agree. That is something that FPL should have done a very long time ago. I don't know why they added the DC points in when they could have taken an easy win, encouraged people to pick different players, but no. That's not something FPL Towers had the brains to do. Mark Summons, lift your game. Yeah, encourage people to think for themselves 100%. Do you think Kevin Dewsbury Hall will be back for Game Week 22? High likelihood, yes. Only because of the fact that Game Week 22 is not this weekend. It's FA Cup this weekend. It's the following weekend. So there's another week and a half before he would need to be back. So he'd be pushing for a return around then, I reckon. My one mate hasn't changed his team since Game Week 1 and has 1,081 points. That's mad. That's almost as many points as me. Crazy. If you pick a good team originally, you're on for a good season. Come on, lads, calm down on paragraphs. Poor D can hardly catch his breath. Bruno G, Cherky, Gordon or Rogers, pick 2. For this week, Bruno G. And I'd probably go Rogers, you know. I got 91 points last week, jumped from 330k to 39. Wow, that is very good, Shushan. Very good. Thanks to you. Should I go Watkins or Bowen? That is so hard, Daniel. I honestly don't know. To be honest with you, I'm slightly biased here because the missus team is West Ham, and I have very fond memories of Jared Bowen doing stuff. And I feel like their run of fixtures is probably better than Aston Villa's for the next 6. Maybe the next 8, actually. Man United at home and Bournemouth at home aren't that bad either. Like, their next lot of 7 fixtures for West Ham, they need to win in order to survive. So I feel like, for me, Jared Bowen's going to play 90 minutes. He's not in Europe. He should be good. So I'm going to go with Bowen, is my honest opinion. Is Captain Gabriel okay? Liverpool concedes a lot of set pieces. That's why he's my captain. Yep. Start Dallo or Alderete? I think I'd be inclined to start Dallo. Gianni YouTube thumbnails are beautiful things, aren't they? Do I do Ekatike to Vissa? No, that's not a move for me. I can see Darius and Big Man Bakar going on a hike discussing FPL. It'd be a one-way conversation. Will Sanchez start? hopefully. Are you a teacher? Yes. Wouldn't you? Well, I'm a deputy principal now. At some point, I'll hopefully be a principal and running this school myself in the future. Would you start Fulham Anderson or Raul or Sabozla? Oh, mate. I'm not starting 32-point Dom. I'd probably start Anderson. If I'm being honest, I'd probably play Anderson out of those three. Mane or Krupi Jr.? Neither. Pick someone else. DCL unit. Mostly going for a cheeky Rodgers captain. Love it. Don't mind it. Batista's on BBC website giving FPL advice this afternoon. 2 thumbs up for him and 13 thumbs down on a postage. Like, I don't know why they employ him. Why do they employ him? He's not even intelligent about FPL. His knowledge of football is really lacking as well. I reckon it's just because, people probably think he looks okay. I don't know. I really don't get it. Please explain to newbies what FPL cartel means. Thank you. Cartel. FPL. Let's talk FPL. FPL Raptor. FPL Mate. FPL Focal. FPL Harry. They're all in a WhatsApp group. They all want to... Literally, that's who the cartel is. Gianni likes to think he's part of the cartel. Az likes to sit there and kiss their ass. But outside of that... They all just band together. Like, they're all pretty good humans, right? I hope they don't think I'm taking the piss out of it. Well, I'm taking the piss out of them. But I do it in a way. Like, I'm a person that, in general, if you actually hang out with me in real life, I'm exactly how I am right here. I'm like, I just take the piss out of things. I take the piss out of myself. Like, yeah. I don't mean it derogatorily. I don't mean they're like bad humans or anything like that. I just think that they could do better with their content. They could be more original. They could have laughs with people. They could take the piss out of themselves. I'd find it a lot more entertaining because I can tell you what, out of all of them, there's only one that I actually enjoy watching. Wildcard into a back 5. 1 week I'm going to get a 5-5. Mate, you honestly could. You literally could, bantering. FPL Golden Goal and FPL Harry both put out our exact same video for the next game week, a matter of hours after. Oh, yeah, it's mad. That's the problem. Like, they all put out the same thing. I like to think, like, I put out my videos with my own takes, with my own things. Like, I literally do star and flop of the week because I think that that's kind of cool. Like, when I'm doing my own team. I talk about things that I've seen in the football. I'd like put my score predictions in and I talk to them about how like wrong or right I was, what I learned from that. I do my own FDR. None of them do that. I literally spend an hour a week doing that for the love of you guys more than anything else. Like, yeah. And I definitely don't promote the Fantasy Football Hub, and I'm sure we're all sick of that promotion. Hopefully I answered that. BBC, West Ham are close to an agreement with striker Callum Wilson to terminate his contract. Yeah, I know. That's mad. Sanchez is not starting. Well, if he's not starting, I've got Verbruggen, so I don't really care, to be honest. I also don't think Man City score that many points. Dallo, can you quickly show a best wildcard team, please? It's pretty close to mine, mate. Mukiele or Anderson? Collins or Timber? I'd go, for this week, I'd play Collins over Timber probably. And I'd play Mukiele. No, I wouldn't play. I'd play Anderson. You're talking about the midfielder Anderson, right? If you're talking about the midfielder Anderson, it's Anderson over Mukiele. If you're talking about the defender Anderson, it's Mukiele. Hopefully that makes sense. Need to do Mane or Creepy to get Gabriel. Okay, fair. I'd go Mane then, probably. FPLX needs somebody to call out the cartel. I'd do that in a way that, unfortunately, I just don't have many followers. That's half the problem. I do not waste my time on X. I am very guilty of that. I'm all about YouTube. I don't really do TikTok. I put a couple of shorts up there, but I just can't be asked with that, to be honest. I feel like the TikTok algorithm just doesn't like me, so I can't be asked with it. Yeah. And FPLX is just like, mate, I just whack my stuff up there. Sometimes I put something funny, but you're better off just tuning into a watch along, really. Evening, Big D. Start Senesi home to Tottenham or Anderson home to Chelsea. Cheers for the entertainment. I would start Senesi. Can we get a hair update? Yeah, it's looking pretty good, mate. It's looking pretty good. Like, it's growing well back, as we can see. The back of my head's actually recovering super well now. It's nowhere near as irritating. The scabs are starting to fall off, so we should get growth in like 3 months or whatever it is. So happy days. That's why we love the D unit. What's your thoughts on selling Foden for Bruno G? I wouldn't do it. Play Garner or DCL or Mukiele? I would play DCL unit. Same for the entertainment and laugh rather than discussing XG for an hour. Exactly. They see their guesses being wrong as something against them other than reality. Yeah, to me, I was like, I know the game is a game of luck. Like, I've played the game for 5 years now. I think 5 years, whatever it is. I know that you need a hell of a lot of luck to do really well in a season. I had a hell of a lot luck last year, and I just had a good understanding of what the game is. And I feel like every year I've gotten better. Unfortunately, this year, I got screwed over by the fact that I thought Nottingham Forest were way better than they've turned out to be, and that West Ham are a lot worse than I thought they were going to be as well. And I invested so heavily on them at the start, along with Aston Villa, and that first 6 weeks killed me. Absolutely killed me. But I'm like, I'm coming from so far back that if I get anywhere near close, or if I finish inside the top 100K, I'll consider that, and they'll consider that a better season than last year, where I finished top 5K. Because last year I was in the top 10K by Gameweek 19, and I kind of made a meal of it more than anything else. And it was way more stressful. This year I'm having so much more fun. I wouldn't. If I could somehow managed to get that high again, I'd be like, holy hell, that's really good. But yeah, happy days. Happy days, really. Also, I answer everyone's questions. You don't have to bloody well super chat me here in order to get your answers. Your questions answered. I was going to say answers question. That makes no sense. All right, where are we at? Yeah, they say they guess. Yeah, 100%. Where are we? I need to get a move on here. Not even hating on them, but being new to FPL, first season going pretty good. It's fun. It took me a while to realise that the cartel push out the same team with maybe one change. Yeah, exactly. First bench, Lucas Miley or Frimpong. I put Frimpong first bench. Which one of the cartel do you enjoy watching? It's actually Raptor because he's a Man United fan, and I think that he has different takes on what the others do, and not gonna lie, I find his voice the easiest to listen to, and he does talk with a bit of passion, and that for me is very key. I can't listen to someone just read out like they're reading a script off the screen, like a lot of the other ones do. If I followed FPL Hub, I would have lost so many points. I literally just picked players to get points a week before. Yep. 100%. To be honest, dude, you are basically the only content I watch now because of all the other contents literally have the same vid. Plus, your takes are way more interesting. Thank you very much, Fundles. Bench 2, Timber Collins and Miley. I would be benching Miley, and I'd probably bench Timber, believe it or not. Haaland has 7 goals and assists against Brighton. I think he's more promising pick than Gabriel for captain, who blanked last fixture against Liverpool. True, I understand where you're coming from, actual. Now, I'll take you back to a couple of interesting stats this season. So, Haaland this season had a horrendous record against Brentford away from home, but he scored. He also has there was another game in here where he doesn't have a very good record, and he did well. And then there's other weeks where he's had very good records and done nothing. Like Chelsea, very good record, a managerless Chelsea, and he did nothing. So, I don't know. I feel like I'm a risky person, right? Like in general, like with my picks. So I'd rather have a bit of fun with it. And I know every man and his dog's going to be captaining Haaland. So if I don't, and he blanks, and then I go into the last game of the game with Gabriel captain, I tell you who's going to be pretty bloody happy. It's going to be not the Haaland captain, it's going to be the D unit, baby. Callum Wilson might have better chance playing minutes for Fulham. I'd take him until... Yeah, I agree. He'd be probably pretty good play for them. Have we got a watch along today for West Ham Forest? The good news is, if this stream makes it through to the end, I'm happy to do a watch along if people are interested. Bruno, should I start him? Yes, I would start him. Nice shirt, thank you. I know I finally fixed the door. Managed to get a shirt over the top of my head today. It was nice. Overthinking FC, but under Rosana, do you think Enzo will play in the 10 or will he compete with Santos in the double? Honestly, I've got no clues whatsoever, Callum. I don't know if Luke's in the chat. I haven't seen him in here, but he's the Chelsea fan of the group. I can't see Enzo Fernandez getting dropped. I don't know where he plays in the team. I don't know where Palmer plays in the team. But it's going to be interesting to see what Rosana does. I dare say he's definitely going to be playing Cole Palmer where Cole Palmer wants to play because he's English. These guys think it's largely skill rather than luck. It's not. It's got nothing to do with skill. The only skill that you can have is picking players that actually play 90 minutes. and play for their teams. That's the only skill involved. The rest of it is all luck. Legit. I don't care what people say. It is luck. Like Haaland blanking when I triple captained him is luck. Or should I say, no luck. Yeah. Hey, do you FPL Harry and Golden Goal literally call themselves FPL Cartel? I'm not sure that they are being ironic, though. I think you mean Golden Goal and FPL Tom, not FPL Harry. FPL Harry's just FPL Harry. What do you think about going without Haaland, Darius? Honestly, I've been weighing it up, buddy. I've been weighing it up. I moved off him very early last season when I thought he was blanking. And to be honest with you, the thought came into my mind and I did it 1 week later. The thought is in my mind by the time game week. But if it was not for the Wolves fixture in game week 23, I'd be seriously considering it. But if he blanks after in 2 of the next 3, he might be going for me. He might be going. So yeah, that's what I'd say to that. The cartel rely on a lot overseas people watching them. English isn't their first language, and as a result, just flock to them and don't understand banter. Yeah, this is true. Start Bowen or Timber? I would start Bowen. 1 free transfer, Allison to Pickford or Ekatike to someone or roll. I like the Pickford move. I feel like Alisson Becker's not going to be keeping too many clean sheets. Pickford or Roofs? If you've got the money, I'd go Pickford. If you don't, Roofs is a perfectly fine pick, though. On wildcard this week, stupid I know, any advice on players I should pick? All right, so if you're after a wildcard draft, essentially, my team, but get rid of Cunha, get rid of Wirtz, and I would probably have... Actually, you know what? I'll just see what I'd do. All right, this is for the people that are potentially wildcarding, all right? So if I was to wildcard, I would not have Wirtz. I would not have Cunha. I'd probably have Bruno Fernandes because he's probably around the corner. I've got 9.3 million to spend. Actually, I'd probably get rid of O'Reilly as well. I think I know what I'd do now. So I think what I would do is I'd go down here. I'd probably bring in... To be honest with you, you've got to play the fixtures, right? I think there is a world where I would try to bring in... If I was on wildcard, I think I'd just do this and just run the risk that it doesn't work. But it probably will. So I'd need a 4 million defender then. Let's go to a 4 mil. Wow, there's not a lot of good options at 4 mil, is there? I don't like any of them. I'd need to find more money. Actually, you know what? No, I lie. You can just play Goodmanson. What's he like? Not a lot of points there, is there? You know, I'd like to have gone Rodon, you know, in there. Then you'd have enough money. Something like that. Something like that on wildcard, I reckon. I've got exceptionally good team value, though, so there's no way you'd be able to afford that. Like, you just wouldn't be able to afford that. So, if you couldn't afford that, I'd probably sell Foden for Cherky. Save some money there if you needed the money. If you needed more money, I'd probably look at getting rid of Tarkowski for maybe O'Brien. Yeah, something like that, to be honest. I think that's what I'd do. Hopefully that helps out anyone that is on wildcard. That's probably where I would go. I'd definitely show Wirtz the door and I'd definitely show Cunha the door. I can tell you that much. The rest is open to interpretation, but I'd definitely be getting rid of those two. And Bruno Fernandes would definitely be one of them in. And ideally, you could put Enzo Fernandez in there, pocket the money and spend it elsewhere. That's also an option. If you needed money, if you didn't want to bet on Palmer, you could bet on Enzo Fernandez. I don't mind that either. Cunha to Cherky for a -4. What do you think? Worth it this week? No, definitely not. Definitely not this week, Trash Panda. Yeah. Next week, yes. This week, no. Raptor has good opinions. Yeah, see, that's why I quite like Raptor. I feel like he's quite educated in terms of like what his takes are on the... I feel like he actually might watch the football. It's just my gut feel. Farah, I missed a lot of chat here doing that, didn't I? Talked up Trossard ahead of his mega haul last week. Double game. I took that punt based on his reasoning, although he didn't, and went for a safe template pick. Yeah, fair. I would not bench Timber personally. Saka Timber versus Kirkes is where Arsenal will make hate. Yeah, that's actually a good point. I expect them to start Robertson though, so that's why I think that's why I'm saying that. What about Foden captain? Yeah, I don't mind it. Which forwards are long-term holds? To be honest, it's probably the three I've got. I actually have no interest in moving the forwards around again, except unless Haaland's blanking and I want the money and Saka and Palmer are going bananas, then I'd move Haaland out then for those two. That's why I'm talking about potentially selling Haaland moving forward. Evening, Darius. Which one of these would you start? Alderete, Milenkovic, or Lucas Miley? Currently, I have Milenkovic starting, but second guessing myself as I have Bowen. I'd probably start Alderete, is the honest answer to that. Calsu, sorry. Santos and Caicedo will be double pivot. Santos was exceptional for Strasbourg last season. There we go. So that means that Enzo would have to be further forward, and then Palmer would be off the right probably. Oh, he's on the bench, something like that. Is Bowen and Thiago a good transfer? It's very sideways. This week, I think Bowen's got the easier fixture. Nottingham Forest have been awful away from home. FPL Harry is the podcast I fall asleep to, guaranteed. I wasn't going to say it. Harry just needs to put more of his personality in when he's on other people's channels. Like, he's actually very engaging when he's on when he's on a show. But when he's on his own channel, it's like he's reading out a telescript, like a Donald Trump thing, but just doing it with no emotion. I don't know if that's what he's going for, but like I'd like him to put his oomph into it. That's just me though. Foden and Haaland always feast against us though. Yeah. But they've been feasting against a lot of teams this year and they've gone unfeasting the last 4 or 5 weeks. Got in Collins for Dallo. I don't care if Dallo is playing Burnley. United have been horrendous. Don't mind it at all. Enzo or Garner? Enzo. Start Voltamata or Zaka? Zaka. He's just a privileged little boy. No sensitivity in him at all. Need to find cash for Palmer soon? Potentially. But we've got to... All right, let's rewind back a second. Now, I know lots of people frothing about it. Even Triggs frothing about Palmer. And I said this to him. What's Palmer done in the Premier League this calendar year? What's he really done in the calendar year this season? Now, yes, he was brilliant, unbelievably brilliant the first half of 24-25 season, but he massively went off the boil at the back end of last year, and I think he's got 2 goals this season. I don't think I'm making that up, am I? 3 goals this season, maybe. Hold on. I don't want to lie. 3 goals this season, right? And he started 8 times. Until we see him concretely playing 90 minutes back-to-back midweeks, I don't think he's worth going to yet, is my gut feel. That's my gut feel. Yeah. Enzo probably starts at Caicedo. If Chelsea is struggling defensively, he'll move up to the 10. Yeah, depends if James starts as he played 9 in the last game. Yep. Why does FPL have so many errors with point counting? Like people, oh, mate, don't even get me started on the point counting. Bruno Fernandes has been robbed so many times this season. Like the last time he played against, what was it? Oh, that game at home. And he literally had 2 DCs in the last minute of the game. And neither of them counted. Like it was against Bournemouth, that's right. Bournemouth literally kicked the ball straight to him twice. Like if that's not a ball recovery or an interception, I don't know what is. Like, and that's everything that's wrong with DC. Everything that's wrong with it. And also the fact that some people enjoy tweeting about it every time one gets counted, which seems ridiculous to me as well. All right, Fletcher has said both Bruno and Mount back in training, but on managed minutes. Okay, that means they're probably both going to be on the bench, I would suggest. No need to buy this week. Yes, please click like. Thank you very much, Miriam. Got a feeling for Mateta. Always scores against Villa. And Munoz back soon. His value will rise again. Yeah, probably. I don't mind them once they get out of Europe. Once the Palace get kicked out of Europe, then I can get on board again, I think. Please, what's the news about Arsenal potentially having a double game week? Could be Brentford and Wolves. They have to make the Carabao Cup final. They have to beat Chelsea over 2 legs, which is no given. No, is it Chelsea or Newcastle? No, Newcastle playing Man City. Chelsea. They've got to beat Chelsea over 2 legs, and I dare say Arteta will rotate for that. I feel like Chelsea might beat them over 2 legs. Semenyo is supposed to have a medical at City Thursday. Yep. What games will City get if they have a double game week? No idea. Haven't even bothered looking at that. It's too far away for me to worry about that, to be honest. I'm going to look at chip strategy soon, but not until they've played the quarterfinals. There's no point worrying about it till then. All you need to know is that potentially any of those 4 teams might double or they might not. Would you play Ekatike or Timber? I'd play Timber. I think the reason some of these content creators appear to be doing well is because a lot of people just copy their teams. Yeah, exactly. Who would you start between Mane and Nico O'Reilly? Nico O'Reilly. If you're on wildcard, would you have Rodgers or Cherky and Watkins or Bowen? I'd probably go Rodgers and Bowen. I have Ekatike starting, but in case he doesn't, what do you think of this bench order? 1 Binte, 2 Stack, 3 Anderson. Yep, good order. Fletcher now, Bruno and Mount back for selection. Yep. Raptor not only watches football, he actually played at decent level. Think he was... there we go. There we go. Yeah, that's why I like him the most. He just seems like he's... I just feel like he knows what he's talking about. And he does it in an engaging way for me. There you go. Shout out, Raptor. Better like me now. Rice captain. Yeah, you can punt it. Bruno F in the squad. Yep. Haaland is leaving my team in wildcard 24 confirmed. Nice. You can always bring him back. That's the thing. You can always bring him back. Yeah, Bruno looks like he's going to be available, Daryl. Start Bowen or Elliot Anderson? Bowen. I'm going Bruno G, but I do have Haaland. Fair. Mate, Bruno is in the squad, yep. Why are you captaining 50% so Gabriel for his 4-pointer versus 20% Tarkowski for his 17-pointer? Yeah. I don't know. The more I've thought about it today, the more I think that Gabriel's got a very strong chance of getting a huge haul. I've wildcarded Haaland, Saka, Foden and Cunha out. Wow. Nice. Captaining Bruno G versus Leeds. Don't care anymore. Don't mind it. That should be fun. Actually, I think you'll enjoy it. Could you explain double game week, blank game week, and what should be done ideally? So ideally, what you want to do is you want to load up with free transfers in order to attack them. Or you take hits to attack them. Now, ideally, in a double game week, that's when you could play your bench boost or your triple captain. So the ideally, you get a double game week for like Man City. Then you can play your triple captain on Haaland, and he's got 2 fixtures where he'll get triple points for being your captain. That's the idea behind it. And then obviously every other player that you pick that's playing 2 games will obviously get double the points for that week. Unfortunately, then you have to either sell them or use your free hit later down the line to cover them in the blank game week. Now, obviously, if you roll lots of transfers, you can do that with transfers. Otherwise, yeah. Fletcher said Bruno and Mount will be in the squad after he managed to fully fit. Yep. Would you play Timber versus Liverpool or Garner versus Wolves? I'd play both. They're perfectly fine. If I had to pick one, I'd probably lean towards Garner because Garner's definitely going to get the DC. Plus, he's probably more likely. Oh, actually, it's a really tough one. I don't see Liverpool scoring. So that means Timber's getting 6 points. Garner will then need to get some sort of attacking return or some sort of bonus plus the DC in order to beat him. So based on that logic, I think I'd play Timber. But I feel like there's higher upside for more points from Garner, if that makes sense. Who would you bench between Timber, O'Reilly, Tarkowski and Dorgu? It's out of O'Reilly and Dorgu. I feel like Dorgu starts higher up the field again with Fletcher. But then he might start Shea Lacey. And then maybe Dorgu's not even in the starting lineup. It's such a weird... I don't know what's going to happen. All I know is that Dorgu's a question mark. So for that case, maybe you bench Dorgu. At this point, Gabriel's a better captain till the end. Yeah. But Gabriel's going at 7.6 points per game. Haaland's going at 7.8. There's 0.2 points per game on average in it. So, yeah, why not back him in? Gabriel just seems... Like, if Gabriel keeps a clean sheet, he's probably in the bonus. Like, that's just a fact. Like, so then you're looking at potentially... Like, Haaland has to score twice to make him worth it. If he doesn't score twice, or get 2 attacking returns, more to the point, then Gabriel can easily match him and or beat him. Vicario, Bournemouth away, or Dubravka, Man United at home? I'd go Vicario. Yep. Liverpool ain't scoring, mate. Play your Arsenal defenders. Yeah, exactly. Who would start between Wilson and Joao? Wilson is in hot form, but Newcastle are good at home. Yeah, this is a tough one. So I've got Wilson bench this week. I just don't think... I feel like Chelsea will keep a clean sheet. I don't know why. I just think they do. So that's why. So yeah, Joao though, I don't know if he keeps... I don't think there's much in it. I don't think he'll go too far wrong either way. Yeah, see, I feel like Lacey will start. Lacey's been due a start for a while. I don't know why Amron hasn't started him. But yeah, I feel like Fletcher, having worked with the kids... We'll play the kids, will be my guess. Yeah, there's no way Bruno Fernandes and Mount are starting. I'd be shocked if they're starting. Would you sell Timber and Virgil van Dijk for Gabriel and Tarkowski? I would sell Virgil van Dijk for Gabriel. Unless you're at 3 Arsenal, and then I'd ask you which other Arsenal assets do you own, because maybe you should be selling one of them instead. I've noticed Haaland always picks up his scoring game whenever someone starts closing in on his golden boot, and now Igor is pressing him. He's not that close. Haaland's 5 goals clear still. Is Gabriel not a minute's risk as he played 2 games, almost 90 minutes of both? Well, if he is, I'm quite happy if he comes off after 60 minutes. Why are Liverpool not scoring? Well, have you seen them play football lately? They struggle to score goals. They're not in very good form. They're playing the top team in the league away from home. A lot of reasons why I don't think Liverpool do well this week. Star Chalobah, O'Reilly, Chalobah. Foden, Turkey, Haaland have not had any rest recently. That's why they're blanking, I reckon. Yeah, you're probably right. They probably are due a rest. I actually think that Turkey might be rotated this week. Who would you sell for Tarkowski, Anderson, or Van Heck? Who would you sell for Tarkowski, Anderson or Van Heck? Anderson. Harry Wilson versus Rodgers. This week I'd be playing Rodgers, not Wilson. I just feel like Chelsea's such a good team, right? I think on paper they should be a good team. They should be, with that squad, they should be a much better team than what they've been, but they've been relatively poor. Do you prefer Bowen or Watkins captain this week? Honestly, Bowen's playing in the first game of the game week. If you play him tonight and he blanks, you're going to be kicking yourself. So for your own sanity, I'd say Watkins. But if you're a brave man, I'd go Bowen. The only way I get Gabriel and Tarkowski is to sell Van der Vaart. Okay. All right. Yeah. Then in that case, if you're happy to do that, then yeah, I'd do it. Timber versus Joao versus Tarkowski. Tarkowski, Timber, Joao, in that order. Do you have any thoughts on who you'd like to be the next manager? Me. So I can call out the owners for what they are and start riots in Manchester. Legit, if they employed me as manager, the first press conference I would say, I'd be like, don't go into the stadium this weekend, get your pitchforks out and go and destroy the gaff. Go and destroy it so the owners get the message we don't want them and we want the club to be sold. That is 100% what I'd be doing in my first press conference, and they'd be sacking me on the spot. But that's what I would do. Someone that's got the balls to say, and I felt like Amram was about to say it, right? Like he put the pressure on the board, and what did they do? They removed him. I'd just call it out straight out the first press conference. I'd just say it as it is. I'd be like, I'd call out Gary Neville because he sits there and spins a lot of crap on every Man United manager, and yet he refuses to call out the real problem because he's on the Glazer payroll. That's the problem with Gary Neville, folks. Yes, he's right about the manager a lot of the time, but my God, what's the real problem at the club? It's not the manager. It's the hierarchy. It's the blokes that own the joint. That's the real problem. It's the Glazers. They're sucking the life out of Manchester United. Year by year, just becomes more and more depressing following them. So yeah, me. Enzo is 6.4. He could be really good. Walker will pocket Cunha. Could do. I got 77 points last week. Tell me why. Because you had a very good week, my friend. West Ham players don't enjoy Nuno. Morale is super down. Bowen captain is risky. What that guy said. Saka might start on bench again. He could, but I don't think so. Rumour has it he has a hole in one of his back teeth. What? That's making his breath horrendous. Might keep the... Oh, I love that. I feel so much happier for reading that comment. That was actually quite funny. I was like, where is this comment going? Verts to Rice this week. Can't see a problem with that move. Looks pretty good. Start Van der Ven, sorry. Bournemouth away or Alderete. I'd go Alderete. Thank you. No problem. My pleasure. Hwang wiping Everton clean sheet. There, that was biblical, wasn't it? I think he's injured, Hwang. I kind of want to see Jim Flates get a chance from the academy. Yeah, silky passer of the ball. Reminds me of a typical Sir Alex Ferguson type play. Yeah, very nice. Sell O'Reilly to Gabriel and Saka to Rogerson -4. Yeah, I don't mind it. If you've got to free up the Arsenal spot, I don't mind it. Fulham and Leeds, most informed teams in the league. We should be buying them instead of Man U, Liverpool and Chelsea. Couldn't agree more. I do think, though, Chelsea are going to be really good, so I still think Chelsea are definitely worth investing in. Plus, they've just got a new manager. They will get a new manager bounce. Do you think anyone will ever beat Rooney's 32 points whole record? I struggle to see it. Because of Jorginho, João and Thiago. Yes, that's right. Yeah, you had a really good week, didn't you? 2 17-pointers. Hey, Dean, best Ray replacement under 5.2 mil. It's probably... Look, if Sanchez is fit, it's Sanchez by a country distance. It's not even close. He's got the best long-term fixtures, the best short-term fixtures. But if you haven't got a second goalkeeper, that's a problem. But that's where I'd be going. 37 minutes yet, and I still don't know what to do. That's never a good sign. FYI, if you get to this point in the deadline and you're like, what do I do? Always revert back to what you originally thought at the beginning of the week, because more often than not, that's the correct play. Jack Fletcher, yeah, he could be good, eh? DCL has scored more goals against Newcastle than any team apart from Palace, and he seems to be scoring at St. James's Park. Yeah, I agree. That's why I think that I wouldn't be playing Newcastle defence. I know lots of people bought in Joud this week, but that's points chasing for me. I just think that I think the DCL unit scores. I thought he'd score against us, and he was super close to scoring against us, so I think he'll score against them, no problem. Haaland dropped in form and just met Khabib. He's on some different mentality stuff. 5 go to coming. All right, well, we'll see. Lafie or Keane to start? Keane. João O'Reilly to start. Now, that's a tough one. Surely you've got to back in O'Reilly to start there. I'd say O'Reilly. I think there's more chance of Leeds scoring against Newcastle than there is of Brighton scoring against Man City. I reckon. That's just my gut feel. Hello, Raya Dubravka, Gabriel Senesi. Hello, Bocky, how are you, mate? Chalaba Van der Ven, Vardio, Foden, Anderson, Semenyo, Wilson, Minte, Bowen, Voldemar, Haaland. I would be moving Voltemata back to Thiago, probably. I don't know. I don't even know who starts for Newcastle anymore up front. Like, I thought that he was going to start the last game, but then Vista started back-to-back games. And now I'm like, what the hell's going on? Has he lost his place? Is Eddie Howe not happy with him? What's the go? I don't know. There's a BBC article titled Amarin Blown Up Brings Wilcox in the Spotlight today, saying should be questioned, amazing at the spotlight. Yeah. I exactly, Michael. I don't understand it. I don't understand why United fans, like some United fans, are happy that Amarin's been sacked. Oh, we get a new manager. Whoop, whoop. Ollie's coming back at the wheel. We can sing, Ole's at the wheel. Tell me how good does it feel? We're doing it a second time because the Glazers are just, I don't know, man. Like, it's just, I can't get on board. Until the owners are gone, I can't get on board with any new manager. Yeah. And like, to be honest, you know what it was? Amron probably did blow up. Because you know what probably happened? Wilcox basically said, you need to play a back four, because Gary Neville said you need to play a back four. Amron turned around and probably said, have you seen his win rate at Valencia's? It's even shitter than mine is here. And you're listening to that fool in the media who's literally on your payroll to just criticise me. Literally, that's what Gary Neville's paid to do, right? Like, it's just it's just... Honestly, I would have told Wilcox to go and stick it up his ass. Like, I would have said to him, I'm a 3-4-3 manager. You idiots pulled me out of Sporting mid-season. You bought me no one in January, and I was left with Eric Ten Hag's unbelievably diabolical squad, and you expected me to win anything with that. Then in the summer, when you clearly needed to buy at least 6-7 players to make his system work, you gave him a brand new centre forward who looks as raw as anything, even rawer than Hoyland. You gave him Cunha and Mbumo, 2 really good players, and you bought him a goalkeeper because we had one big fat clown in goal called Anana, and if he sat there and had to endure that, anyone would have ripped their head off because it was just that infuriating to watch as a fan, let alone as a manager. And you gave him no midfield. We've had a donut midfield for 6 years. A donut midfield. There's a big fat donut in there. And they basically said, and Amron would have been like, are you kidding me? You told me you were going to back me. Buy me a midfield. Like, how hard can it be? Honestly, I feel sorry for him. If there's one man that deserves his payoff from Man United, it's Ruben Amron. He got sold a lie. He wasn't backed. And he was just literally hung out to be a scapegoat. And as soon as he turned around and said, Wilcox needs to do his job, he gets sacked. Unbelievably rubbish. Poor bloke, honestly. That's essentially, it's just criminal what's happened there. Criminal. All right, whatever. I've lost my train of thought here. Newcastle home is always points haul, but better off just going for Bruno G, who always bangs when he plays at home. Yep. What's the bigger form of torture in 2000 tweaks? Being forced to... Oh, mate, honestly, I don't know. I actually don't know. I think it's probably Man United because we lost to Spurs in the Europa League final. So I'm going to say that. But supporting both our clubs with the owners we've got, absolutely just, it's painful. It's painful. Watkins or Haaland captain, look, honestly, captain's just who you're feeling. If you think Watkins is going to bang, pick him. If you think Haaland's going to bang, pick him. I'm picking Gabriel because I think he's going to bang. Should I go on -4 to move out Vardiol? Yes. He's not going to be making any points for the rest of the season, I don't think. First goal scorer, White or Fernandes? Yeah, I don't know. Best replacement for Minte with 1.6 in the bank. Wilson. I've been watching a team who have been suffering for 25 plus years now and just about to go into a League One, and now that is suffering. I take that back. That is suffering. That's worse than what we've got at 100%. Seems like they're going to give Ollie the caretaker job. I can't lie. I've always loved Ollie, but not as a Man United coach. Anyway, good luck to him. Yeah, to be honest with you, of all the managers I've had post-Fergie, we actually probably had our best wins under Ollie, but he's not a good manager. He's not a good manager. There's a reason why it didn't work out the first time. Are you watching West Ham? Yes, I will be. Luis Enrique just rejected the new contract from PSG. I mean, ironically, so the thing is, right, I'd say Luis Enrique would be amazing at Manchester United. He would come there, though, and he'd rip his hair out because the incompetence above the manager is unbelievably insane. Like, Ruben Amron made mention of a couple of times, like, you wouldn't believe what's going on above me. Like, there's that many idiots above. The Glazers only care about making money out of the club, so they couldn't give a toss what happens on the field. As long as they're making money, they're happy and they don't have to put any sense in. Jim's just more interested in his bloody stadium and worrying about that than actually worrying about the fact that we actually need to stick with someone in order to break this never-ending cycle that we feels like we're in. We're literally on the hamster wheel. What happens is Man United don't have very good results. They either do two things. They sack the manager, which is what they've done here, and then they'll have really crap results again and they get to the end of the season. Just when the protests are starting up again, and people are getting angry and whatever, and they want the owners out, the transfer window opens. Now, at the beginning of the transfer window, before they say that we say they've got money to spend, right? We're going to have a big window. The transfer window happens. They spend 6 weeks to sign one player. Then all of a sudden, we don't actually have that much money. We need to make player sales before we can buy someone. Then they don't actually sign, a glaring issue, hence the midfield this summer. It's exactly what happened this summer. Then as soon as the window closes, the media all of a sudden gets briefed that, we've got the money. We're going to go big for a midfielder in the next window. We get to January. We've sacked the manager. Are we going to sign a player? The answer is, you know what, we're going to sign Semenyo, but instead we've paid that money out to sack Amarin instead because we're a bunch of incompetent idiots. Like, literally, everything wrong with Man United is from up there, upstairs. The worst board, the worst owners in human history are the Glazers, and Sir Jim, the idiot, his lasting legacy will be bailing the Glazers out so they can hang around for another 5 or however many years that they hang around for. That's going to be Sir Jim's legacy. It's not going to be the bloody stadium. It's going to be his incompetence kept the Glazers in charge for even longer than they needed to be. And it pains me saying it because I'm a very passionate Man United fan, but trust me, I've become so detached with the just incompetence of that club being run. Like, honestly, they could do a better job and hire me as the CEO, and I would tell them straight. I was like, if you're not going to put the money in, piss off. Or sack me. All right, where are we at? The cartel scenes are so funny because KSI popped his wild card with a rather unorthodox team, and the cartel jumped in to call him a fool. But yeah, I thought his team was great. I actually shared his team. I was like, this dude is cooking. This is the kind of wild card draft I can get behind. They think their way is the right way. They think analytics is king. Analytics is not king. Vardio to Tarkowski. Yes, don't mind it. I originally thought Garner in for Wilson, now then rolled twice, then go Enzo and Gabriel for an O'Reilly and Sade for Gameweek 24. Yep. Seems decent. 30-minute deadline warning. Yes, thank you very much for that, Cole. I've completely forgot. I've been so interested in talking about Man United. I could literally have done a stream talking about Man United today pretty easily. Nepotism, Fletcher's out. Yeah, legit. Amram will do well. I agree. Amram will do fantastic. If he's backed by the club, which he was at Sporting, like he wasn't at Man United, if he was actually backed, I reckon he would have succeeded. But he needed his players for that system to work, and they literally gave him a bunch of novices. They gave him Dorgu. They gave him Le Mans. Le Mans actually looks like a pretty good keeper, so I've got no problems with that one. They gave him Sheshko, who's definitely not the finished article. The only two things they gave him were Kunyarin and Boomer, and they have been good. But even they've been disappointing of late. Start Ikatike and hope he plays, or bench him and start Enzo. I'd start Lafay. Sub 7 million kudos replacement from Grealish, Enzo, Cherky, Tavernier, Barnes. Grealish. I actually really like Grealish for the foreseeable future. Enzo's also really good, so one of those two for me. Should I take out Nunes for Chalobah now or do it in game week 23-24? I already have Timber and Gabriel and Chow. To be honest with you, you could easily do it now. Let's go, D. Let's go, Jordan. D-Unit, play Timber and Gab and bench Verts and split the difference and start him over Tim. No, I'd bench him. I'm benching Verts, so I've got him last on the bench. I benched him last week for his 10 points, so I cooked that one up wrongly, but yeah. I come to you for the originality, and lo and behold, there you are, Captain and Gabriel. Godspeed, man. Yet I'm not boring. No one will ever accuse me of being boring, I can tell you that much. Check FPL Harry's players to buy. They are literally last week's top scorers. He's such a little bitch. Oh, dear. Start 3. Gabriel, Chalobah, Van de Ven, Senesi, Tarkowski. That's an easy one. Gabriel, Chalobah, and Tarkowski for me. Those three have the ones the highest percent chance. The highest percent chance of keeping a clean sheet. All right, I'm going to end the captaincy poll there because there's really something I want to ask the chat. All right, so let's see what we've got here. All right, Haaland 73%, Gabriel 12%, someone else 12%, Cunha 3%. Wow. Okay, that's a significant Haaland advantage. Let's get to 100 likes. Yes, if you haven't already smashed a like on the stream, please consider doing so now. I want to see who would as caretaker manager. Because they're not going to sign a manager now. I can tell you that much straight out the gate. All right. So let's just go with Darren Fletcher. You know what I would love to see? I would love to see Roy Keane come in. But I believe, by the way, that Ole is going to come in with Michael Carrick from reports that I've read. I'm going to add in a fourth option, probably the best option, which would definitely be the most box office. How's that for a poll? Who would you get as caretaker manager for Man United? Darren Fletcher, Ole plus Carrick, Keane, or the D unit? Target Man United fixtures, Fletcher Twins unite. We're all sheep. We are all sheep, aren't we? You are sheep. You need to be harvested. It's that time of the season where the wool needs to be shedded off. By the way, did you know that Steve Howson's actually, you can actually bet on Steve Howson to be the next Man United manager. He's paying 200 to 1, which I think is brilliant. He had a laugh about, I enjoy watching Steve Howson, to be honest. And he joked about it. He goes, stop voting for me. It's a waste of £5. I was like, that's brilliant. Both bench first last week, but I did get 85 points. Oh, wow. That's huge. That's pretty good. That's really good. Nothing wrong with that. Roy Keane would be an unreal appointment. I'd love it. I would love Roy Keane as a real appointment. Why are you so rich? I've had a pay, mate. I'm just me. I can't be boring. Actually, none of you would ever be young enough because I don't think I've got anyone that's that young. But anyone that's taught by me, I only got into teaching. I'll tell you an interesting story. So I've actually done a degree in security terrorism and counter-terrorism and a major in history. Now, originally I was applied for the Australian Federal Police. They said I needed more life experience. So I then went back to uni and did a grad dip in teaching. And now when I finished my teaching, I missed the cutoff to apply for ASIO because I only do it one intake a year, which is in September, and I missed the cutoff because I was too busy studying to be a teacher. So I went into teaching by default because of the fact that I just missed the cutoff and I needed a job. So I got into teaching and then I quite liked it. And I didn't think about it again for about 6 years. So 6 years later, I then applied to be in ASIO because I was like, you know what? I could do a change. Maybe I'll put that degree to use after all. So I applied for ASIO, which is the Australian Secret Intelligence Organisation, pretty much the MI5 or the MI6 of the UK. And I got through the psych testing. Obviously, they like a bit of a daredevil, like me. And then I got through the aptitude testing as well. And then I got into the preliminary interview and I found out that, there was a 50% chance of either being stationed in another capital city or in Canberra. So 50% chance in Canberra, 50% chance elsewhere. I was like, don't really fancy Canberra. And then then there was a 50% chance from that either you'd be a security analyst, which would be sitting in front of a computer or on the phone listening to stuff. And I was like, that sounds dead boring. Or 50% chance you'd be an operative. And I was like, I only applied to be an operative. I had no interest in sitting behind a desk. That would just bore the absolute bejesus out of me. So for me, I was like, I did the math in my head. I was like, all right. So there's literally a 25% and under chance of me getting to do what I actually want to do. And you're going to pay me nothing for literally 6 months because they pay you literally nothing for the first 6 months because they train you up, et cetera, et cetera. I was like, I've got a mortgage already because I've been teaching and working and making way more money than you're about to pay me. And you expect me to go down for 6 months on half pay from what I'm literally getting at the moment. I've still got to pay my mortgage. And I don't even know if I'm going to get to do what I want to do. So in the end, I turned them down. So yeah, there you go. Canberra. I'm probably saying it wrong, but that's just how I say it. And yeah, I've been teaching ever since. And I teach literally how I talk on here. Like, it's really funny when I first got... So now I'm deputy principal, right? So now I don't do any teaching at all. You guys get the teaching bit out of me because this is what I do and when I'm in class more than anything else. But essentially, when I was when I got into deputy and I was talking to my principal, I was like going, you know what? It's like when I originally was in teaching, my best teacher I can think of, he used to do funny stuff. Like he'd come in, he'd talk about football, all the rest of it. And like I literally religiously talk about football. Like it doesn't matter what I'm talking about with someone, I'll somehow find a way to bring football into the conversation. Now it's a bit more like I bring football and FPL into the conversation, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, I'm transgressing. So he used to do funny things. So instead of calling us by our first names, right? Most teachers call their kids by their first names. He'd call me by my last name. So my last name's Crispler. He'd be like, Mr. Crispler. And so like I started doing it like as a teacher to the kids that I taught. I'd call them like by their last names or whatever. And they thought it was brilliant. And then they're like, I don't know. Try to be entertaining. If kids these days need to be entertained. The best way to teach something is to be entertaining. Because if you're not entertaining and you're boring, I can tell you what happens. I've been to so many PD, professional development. I don't know what they call it in the UK. I've been to so many PDs where I've been sitting there and the next thing you know, you're almost falling asleep and you need a can of Red Bull to wake up. Or you're on your phone because you've literally tuned out or what the hell they're saying and you're like, what's going on? What are they actually talking about now? Like I cannot be like that. It's physically impossible for me to be like that. So I can't do it. Roy Keane would definitely be an unreal appointment. I would love it just for the banter. He'd be brilliant. Rice captain, don't mind it. Start Van der Ven or Wilson. I'd start Wilson. I'm struggling. Actually, I'd start Van der Ven. Bournemouth aren't very good on set pieces, so Van der Ven could be pretty good. I'm struggling picking me captain this week. Bruno G loves a goal against Leeds. Cunha unleashed or Watkins again. Mate, all three are really good options. I don't think you'll go wrong with either of them. Ange for United. If Ange signed for Manchester United, I would go over there and demand a meeting with Wilcox and say, I'm a far better manager than Ange Postecoglou. I would have money on Keane being sacked before Darius. I think it'd be a close run thing, Cole. Dean or Klopp, go to the card. It's got McClopp. Bastard of a card. Which three would you start out of Bruno G, Rice, Sade and Rogers? Which three? I'd start Rogers, Rice and Bruno G. Canberra done that one. D unit is James Bond. Yeah, legit, I wanted to be the James Bond. I wanted to be the Australian James Bond. Are you locked on Gabriel captain? I am. Good luck then, brother, especially as an Arsenal fan. What subjects? Taught HAS, so humanities and social sciences. Most people think that I taught PE. I get that every single time someone meets me and I tell them, oh, you're PE teacher. I was like, no, never taught PE. I was like, I've coached a football team. Managed football teams for multiple years. I can run PE, no problem at all, but I'm not a trained PE teacher, even though I can do it. I'm very tempted to get Barry in for Ekatike. Am I crazy? That is absolute madness. But if you're feeling it, do it. I'm not going to sit there and dissuade it. I do some moves myself because I just believe in it, and no one else does, but I do it because I believe in it. So if you believe in it, by all means, back yourself. Principal unit, mate. Can't wait for that. I'm actually scared because it's like it's not a bit of me. I'm a bit of a maverick in life. Like the South Park has PC principal unit. Bench run, Sucker, Cherky, Foden, Rice, Rogers, Watkins, and Voltamata. To be honest, the two that are probably the biggest rotation risks there are probably Cherky and Voltamata. So you'd probably pick one of those two because I feel like Cherky could get rested this week, potentially. And Voltamata, I don't know if he's going to start or not. Is this the ultimate D unit 11? Flappy Bird, Anana, 3-point Anderson, 2-point Captain Dallo, Virgil, Van Bullet Header, Dirty 2-point Dom, Beef Cherky, Huang, Koala Bear, DCL unit the Pigeon, Mark Goooooooooooo. Honestly, that is not bloody far off. That's not far off the old time D unit 11. I'm telling you that much. The deputy unit. That actually sounds pretty good. D unit, deputy unit. We'll use that one. Where's my pen? I'm going to write that one down. I'm going to go back to work in 4 weeks' time. And I'm like, the D unit, deputy unit is in the building. Oh, I've got a pen here somewhere. I'll find that later. Actually, I'll write that on my phone. Deputy unit. Write that to myself. People think I've lost the plot, which I probably have. But that's neither here nor there. Deputy unit. What a name. Oh, I love it. I love that. Deputy unit. Shout out to you. Is Van der Ven becoming a valid pick? Yes. Over the next 4 weeks, I don't mind it at all. Bring back Ron Atkinson. Ron Atkinson would be brilliant. He'd be box office as well. Flip the card for Thiago and Foden, although it didn't make me very happy after Bowen blank. Well, Bowen didn't blank. He got 4 points. And he beat Haaland as well. Thiago Bowen. Actually, sorry, what am I on about? Thiago Foden. All right, let's go on with Thiago. You don't need to be a trained PE teacher to coach Man U. No, you literally don't. You couldn't have said that one better, Vince. Your team looks like a wild card each week. I can't keep up. I've only made one transfer this week. I only moved Ekitike for Thiago. Literally only moved Ekitike for Thiago. Yep. Backed my hunch. Mateta in for Ekitike. Like it. Wilson onto the bench. Good luck, guys. Good luck. Start Chalobah or DCL. That's a tough one. I've got DCL on my team. No, I haven't got DCL on my team. I've got Chalobah. I'm going to go with DCL unit just because I believe my man. He won't blank for a 3rd week in a row. He's been super close the last 2 times. 15-minute deadline warning. Yes. Thank you very much, Cole. Or would you -4 Verts and Tavernier or for Bruno G and Enzo in? Yeah, I probably would. I probably would. D-Unit, should use the Anderson cartel pick as a critical thinking life lesson for the kids. Honestly, I tell you what, if I taught maths, and I'm going to prepare a maths lesson for a couple of blokes I know that teach maths at the high school that I left. Obviously, I'm a deputy at a primary school now. I'm going to send them a lesson. I'm going to send them this. I'm going to send them this. Hold on, where is it? I'm going to send them a screenshot of... Well, I can't even screenshot it because it goes off the page now. So, since game week 10, Dirty Dominic Szoboszlai. 2 points, 1 point, 2 point, 3 points, 2 points, 8 points, 3 points, 1 point, 0 point, 3 points, 2 points. That's since game week 10. So the last 11 weeks, he's got 1 return. Now, the lesson learned here, and the lesson would be, what would the probability be for points in the next game week for Dirty 2-point Dom based on the last 11 weeks worth of point data? And what a lesson that would be. And then I'd turn around and say, why was he getting recommended by every single YouTuber that wasn't the D unit? That is something that has to be studied. A life lesson needs to be studied there. Like how they all said, how they all bought him as well. Also very funny how they all bought him. Why? Why? I can tell you why. FPL review, Solio Analytics. The analytics crew have got no ideas about Dominic Szoboszlai. You need to have a football brain to understand that he is not the bloke to own in terms of an FPL asset. I think Chalobah outscores Palmer in the next 6 thoughts. Probably does. That's why I've got him. Any news on the snowstorms? Not at the moment. Watkins or Thiago? I'm stressing. Honestly, I think the way to look at Watkins versus Thiago is Watkins is in Europe, Thiago is not. Thiago, if he's fit, is not going to get rotated. Watkins may well miss out on some games from a start to Marlon. Like, that's the way I'd look at it. You had an inch of snow and the traffic was dismal. That's disappointing. I'm captaining Gabriel on your head beat. Jake, good as choice as any. I can't decide between. Yeah, I just looked. Sorry, I just looked at it. I'll go back to picking my team. People just realizing I'm just doing whatever there. But, yeah, happy with it. Pretty happy with it again this week. Feel like there's a good chance there could be a few points, which is always nice. And I've got really good bench cover again this week. Like, even if some blokes don't show up, I know that the blokes on the bench definitely are, so that's good as well. What happens first? D-Unit hired as Man United manager or Van Dijk bullet header? I tell you what, both of them might not happen. 99.9%. Thanks for the help. Should I do a -4 Szoboszlai for Palmer? I would. I wouldn't even hesitate. I would actually argue that Dirty 2-point Dom is worth a transfer in any given week, and even for a hit, because he's just rubbish. As an FPL pick, he's rubbish. As a footballer, a really good footballer, really rubbish FPL pick. Would you bench boost Roofs, Gordon, Mukiele, Alderete this week? Don't mind it, actually. I still feel like Brentford score. The Brentford are really good at home. Sunderland nowhere near as good away from home. Ekitike news, it's going to be a wait and see, I think, for that one, from what I read. I would go Palmer next week. 10 days off for fitness, yep. Start Ekitike or Lafie. I would start Lafie. You're keeping Wirtz? No, Bruno, no. Bruno's going to start on the bench, so there's no need to be bringing him in. 10-minute deadline morning. Start Timber or Talibur, and which keeper to pick if on wildcard? If you're on wildcard, Sanchez is the best keeper long term. For a long, long time, Sanchez is the best. It's just a matter of he's going to be fit this week. So as long as your second goalkeeper is going to be playing, you can pick Sanchez. He should be good long term. That's how I do. And I would start, I think I'd start Chalobah. Thoughts on my team for this week: Sanchez, O'Reilly, Senesi, Joao, Garner, Saka, Foden, Sade, Bowen, Thiago, Haaland. It's a pretty good team. Pretty good team. I like it. Start Bruno or Saliba. Which Bruno? Bruno F or Bruno G? If it's Bruno F, Saliba. If it's Bruno G, Bruno G. Ndai or Dirty Dom? I can't even believe I'm about to say this, but it's an Ilian and Ndai, and that really pains me to say that. Like, people know that would pain me to say that, but Ndai is actually a better pick than Dirty 2-point Dom. I can't believe I just said that. Pick 3, Cherky, Rice, Wilson, Garner, and Bruno G. Bruno G, Rice, and Cherky for me. Raya or Roofs and goal? Raya. Dean, I'm 256k. You're coming, baby. Very nice. Keep going. Keep pushing. New Chelsea guy likes to play out from the back. Sanchez may be cooked. I just think Sanchez is a way better goalkeeper. Start Cherky or Dallo? I'd start Cherky. You're wrong on the captaincy D unit. Review told me to captain Lord Anderson. I love it, Captain Jackie. So you guys think Palmer won't play 90 minutes this week? Honestly, I can't speculate on Chelsea assets. Until we see how the new manager beds in, it's just a guessing game. It's really a guessing game. The only one that you can be guaranteed is really going to be starting is probably Chalobah. That's it. Best mid for 8.4. This week, it's probably Cunha because he's got Burnley. But outside of that, long term, it's probably Rodgers or Bruno G or Rice. If you haven't got Rice, it's Rice. Rice all day long. Would be low if you were forced to keep your chances in your team for a minimum of 8 weeks, like all that. Yeah, that would be hilarious. That would be unbelievably funny. Bench Foden or Enzo? Oh, my gut feel says Enzo. Palmer or Saka? I have Rice. Palmer. Because the fixtures are going to be better for Chelsea in the very short term and the long term. Should I confirm Wilson to Garner now? Up to you. Hey, mate, play Anderson or Virgil van Dijk. For me, it's got to be Anderson. Anderson will get DC. Virgil van Dijk is just an auralist. He just needs to be removed from everyone's teams that still got him. 5.9 million wrapped up in that fraud. I'm captaining Gabriel as well. Very nice. Chelsea own the Strasbourg keeper. Chelsea own Strasbourg. Love it. Bruno going to get some minutes, I'm guessing. Yeah, I reckon he will. Maybe I'd do a -4 for Bruno. I don't think he's going to get enough to really warrant buying him. I mean, he could. Bruno for 30 minutes could be a biblical 30 minutes, let's be fair. Cunha to Enzo, I already have Rice. Not this week. Okay. Okay, you need the money. Okay. Yeah, in that case, I don't mind it. Start Cherky or DCL unit? DCL unit. Garner 17-point haul. I mean, if he does that 2 out of 3 weeks, my God, that's been a really good shout from him for sure. Really good shout from him for sure. I struggle to get on board with that one though, I think. Haaland or Gabriel or Rice captain? I've gone with Gabriel, so I'm going to say Gabriel. Any news on Sanchez other than the fact that I'm playing him and I'm hoping for the best? No. He was meant to be training today. That was confirmed. So if he trains, you would think that he's going to be fit enough to start because otherwise he's a goalkeeper. It's not like he has to run heaps. I don't even know what was wrong with him in the first place. Is 30 minutes of Bruno better than 2-point Szoboszlai? Yes. Never thought I would start 5 at the back, but going with Gabriel, Timber, Jow, Keane and Dorgu, benching Wilson. Yeah, I don't mind it. Like, I'm obviously got Chalobah myself, so I'm benching Wilson because of that. So, yeah, I don't mind it. Originally, I was going to play a back 5 as well, so, I could definitely see it paying off. All right, keep your questions coming in. We've got 5-minute warning. We've got 5 minutes to the deadline. Make sure you've got your teams finalised. Make sure, actually, I need to quickly check the missus team because she's away, and I think I was meant to do that before. Hold on, bear with me 1 second. I've just got to quickly pull that up and have a look for her. There we go. It's not even going to impact on the stream. That's worked out well, hasn't it? Done a very good job. All right, let's have a quick look. All right. Ashley. She's in Thailand at a full moon party tonight. Lucky girl. I should have done this earlier. I completely forgot. Absolutely completely forgot. All right. See if that worked. I've got the right password. Yes, I do. All right. Never thought I was... Yeah. Ariola. Gabriel, Tarkowski, Chalobah, Rice, Watkins, Hallam, Bench, Van der Ven, Nunes, Fought one more chance of a clean sheet in DEFCON and Everton. Yeah, don't mind it. Looks pretty good. Hi, Darius. Play Dallo or Wilson? I'd play Dallo. Not by much. Literally not by much, but I'd pick Dallo. All right, what's her team looking like this week? All right. Oh, okay. All right, who do we start? Verbruggen against Man City away or Dubravka at Manchester United at home? Like, which one of them do we start? Oh, it's horrible. Has she got a transfer? Oh, she's got 2 transfers. Oh, let's make some moves. You know what? Let's bring in... How much money she's got there? 7.7. She doesn't have Gabriel, though, so that's a problem. All right, that needs to be fixed. Hold on. He's going to have to survive a week. Oh, my God, she can't even afford Gabriel with Watkins. Wow, okay, no, that's disappointing. All right, Gabriel. I was like, she's going to be playing double Arsenal defence. She doesn't know about it, but she's going to be doing it. All right, let's do that. There we go. Actually, I've made some good moves here for her. She can't complain too much. I've actually moved. I've moved Ekatike out for Thiago. I've bought in Gabriel for Dallo. That's her 2 moves this week. And we're going to play Timber over Elliot Anderson, I think. Her team's actually really good. Outside of the goalkeepers, her team's really good. Like, proper good. Oh, wow, that's weird. She had a Cunha captain. No wonder she did so well last week. There we go. All right, where are we back? We're running out of time here, aren't we? All right, we've got 2 minutes. Quickly get through your comments, and then we see. All right, one more card. Do I bring in Timber? It depends on whether you want that as your third Arsenal asset outside of Rice and Gabriel. If you do, then that's fine. If you don't and you want Saka, don't bring him in. You sure with the O'Reilly pick that City? I know. I'm just backing him in for an attacking return. City defence is still elite. Ake and Kusanov are good backups. Rodri in front of him. Yeah, exactly. Gravenberch or Lacroix. I would go with Gravenberch. He's definitely going to get DC against Arsenal, I think. He's missed his team. I know. You going to EDC in 10 days? No, she is. She's going to EDC in 10 days. I'm not. I'm here. I'm bringing my Deadmau headlol. The only one in Asia, and it's Ipswich themed. Oh, that's brilliant. Track the boys, Deadmau. Love it. Any thoughts about Gibbs White? Risky pick. Could bang tonight, though. Gabriel, Everton, a big risk. Garner and Tarkowski seems fun until it turns around, exactly. Is there a chance that Chalobah gets benched? I wouldn't have thought so. Captain Caveman or Captain Underpants? I would go with Captain Underpants. And, we've got about 1 minute to the deadline because it's still 2:29 here. I went for Foden captain. Pray for me. Pray for me as well. I went Gabriel captain and a Tarkowski vice. So I'm relying on the weather holding up, I suppose. But I've got very good faith in Gabriel doing the business. Gahey or O'Reilly? I'd go O'Reilly this week. I think that might be the last question we get in before the deadline passes. 2:29 still. We're ticking. I know the timer on my stream's gone down, but that's because it finished. I like to give you oh, there we go. 2:30's just passed. Come on, Omari Hutchinson, do something for me tonight. I'm hoping Jared Bowen bangs tonight. I hope they both bang. I hope it's a high-scoring game. I hope there's 3 goals for each of them, and we're all sitting there laughing off to the point, and we've got 17 points after one player. Your euphoric feeling of FPL midweek fuckery. Let's go. I'm here for it. Good luck, everyone. Hopefully it's green arrows. Lots of people joining tonight. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Hopefully I provide a little bit of mild entertainment for you for your midweek deadline stream. And I will see you all for the live watch-alongs. It looks like the internet seems to be back. We got through the entire stream with no buffering, and it was good. So long may that continue. I don't know what the issue was, but it seems to have been fixed, which is fantastic. I think the deadline's gone, buddy, but I would have benched Cherky probably. Live watch on tomorrow. Yes, we're covering all 8 games tomorrow, Chili. All 8 games tomorrow. Yep. Well, tell your lady to look out for a guy. I'll tell her. Look out for the guy with the dead mouse hat. Bruno G locked. Hope you all enjoy the Haaland hat-trick. Thanks, Darius, banking on an Everton point hole. Best of luck to you. Go Green Arrows. In a bit. Brought in Barry. Wish me luck. Hope he starts. I hope he starts for you as well. All right, on that note, folks, thank you very much for joining. Good luck with the football this midweek. I was going to say weekend. It's midweek. And I'll see you all on the live watch-alongs.